Okay, hello and welcome back to the division. It's been about 2 weeks since I've recorded the last episode. I think it's been about 2 weeks. Recording this series has been quite difficult. Not because of like actual technical reasons or anything like that, but between a lot of overtime at work and one of my cats getting exceptionally ill.
Now entering a safe area.
Like at this point, she looks like she's kind of outside of trouble. Like I don't think her life is immediately at risk. But I mean, like uh, oh, like that. What do you call Friday? Yeah, so only a couple of days ago, she went in for a checkup, and you know, the vet was saying she was improving, but like she was also talking along the lines of like, well, she's improving for now, but she could take a turn at any time, and if she does, then
We're at the radio mast, but there's Rikers everywhere. What the hell? We're outmanned. We need
yeah, but then like if she does take a turn for the worst, have to think about the best thing for her probably being to
No, down.
put her down.
No. Sorry.
Um,
He gets a little excited. There's a gang of Rikers tearing up the neighborhood, led by a guy named Trigger Mike. Used to run a dogfighting ring, if you can believe it. Bringing him in will make a lot of people happy.
Warning. You are now leaving the safe area.
fuck. Yeah, so I've had quite a bit of stress. It's been stressful, expensive. And expensive in a way of like it's not that I wouldn't pay to make sure that my little bear is okay, but expensive in a way of like it's just not something I can afford. I mean, okay, keep in mind, like I work a minimum wage job. On top of this, recently with all of the COVID nonsense, my parents decided they were gonna. There wasn't enough business to keep their pub open, even as like a sort of a restaurant, which they can still do. So we're subsidizing them, and again, like Yeah, so subsidising them, so there's a like finances are stretched thin as is. So far, like with that, unfortunately, I've not been able to sort of, like, a lot of this would be better if I could just put her into the sort of veterinary hospital, but as noted, like something like that's very, very expensive. It's just, and as it stands,
You got trigger, Mike. How'd you do that? Never mind. Just keep doing what you do best.
yeah, and as it stands, like I think what we did was fucking music is so loud here. What we did was we got medication for her, and I'm sort of treating her here at home, keeping her warm, keeping her, you know, stopping her from being as active as possible, making sure she's eating, drinking, stuff like that. Ideally, she needs to be on IVs, but fuck, why can't I jump through there? Yeah, ideally she needs to be on IVs, but I mean that's just something I can't afford. As it stands, I've spent better part of about £600 on just, you know, checkups, you know, the checkup appointments, the medication, and that's with doing everything at home. So having it all done at the vet, it's basically not an option, because my bank balance isn't that deep. So yeah, it's been. There's supposed to be something in there.
We're at the radio mast, but there's Rikers everywhere.
Okay, Agent, listen to me. This is important.
I've got to get out of this bloody area because that radio's too fucking loud. Yeah, so I mean, like, it's not that I don't want to. It's that I literally can't afford it because I wouldn't be able to cover rent. I wouldn't be able to cover food. You know, and it'd be a bad time getting kicked out of the house and have, you know, 2 other cats to take care of and look after on top of the one that I ideally want to keep alive. So yeah, the notion of having to make that decision between her being in pain, sort of like, not her being in pain, but like, you know, if she doesn't recover and like she has to be on pain medication for the rest of her life, like what kind of a life is that going to be, you know? Yeah, it's one of those really shitty situations where you're like, I love her to bits, absolutely love her to bits, and I'd love to do anything for her.
Rikers are attacking a patrol near the park on FDR. They need backup.
What end up being best for her, you know? I mean, this said, with her, she's clearly recovering right now. So with her recovering, hopefully that's not something I'm going to have to actually, you know, a decision I'm going to have to make. I mean, I hope it's not. But Again, like it's a concern. It's
Hostile forces approaching.
it's been something that's been weighing on my mind a lot. And so like with that, I've not really wanted to make many videos, if I'm being honest. It's just happenstance that I've recorded like between stressful times and sort of, like because I hadn't been sleeping very much. Things have been stressful. I'd recorded like enough videos to kind of cover. Yeah.
Warning. Hostile forces approaching.
Yeah, so like if at any point, you
We've
know,
lost a lot of people.
videos
since
just stop for a bit, yeah, it's probably because I'm not. It's probably because something bad's happened, and I just don't want to deal with it. Like, I mean, the other thing is I live with my brother, but there's not really like. It's not what I'd call supportive, like emotionally supportive kind of thing. Parents live quite far away, and there's not really much else in the way of family or others. So, yeah, you know, it'll just be a sucky situation. But yeah, she's on the mend now, so you know, kind of sleeping with a big sister like drooped all over her right now. I say her big sister, but her big sister's a little dwarf version of the cat she is, but like she is older. But yeah, she's you know, she's eating and drinking better. She seems more responsive. So I'm happier at the moment, less stressed. Of course, that could change. I'm hoping she just gets better. You know. Okay, where the fuck are these medical supplies? They're in this big area somewhere. Ow, 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 that's rude.
Glad you're here with us.
Yeah, so I mean that's been my last, you know, couple of weeks, month. Stress at work, stress at home, not sleeping very much. 100% shitty.
Take that fool out! Grenade! Don't need no... He's fucked!
kind of some way to start this episode. I'm just gonna be doing sort of like the side missions I can at the moment. There are apparently medical supplies in this Garam area, but I can't find them. Like they'll be in a duffel bag or something, man. That's probably the fucking duffel bag there. This fucker right here. The one that I ran past like 3 fucking times. Oh dear. Yeah. As it stands, I think I'll do these side missions, all these side missions. It's really hard to time this because I don't want to do another main mission just yet. Because another main mission will take quite a while. Yeah. I mean, 17 minutes, but I mean, a main mission, I used all the last one. The last one took basically a fucking
Excellent
hour.
work, Agent. Well done.
Of course, I died a lot, so maybe if I didn't die so much, it might be shorter. No,
We're at the radio mast, but there's right. It looks like Trigger Mike's friends are still
I
around.
can't.
No, stop it.
Thing is, I
Stop it.
can't
We'll go for a
remember
walk
if.
later. Anyway, they're shooting at the night. We're trying to bring in our latest supply drop. Think you can lend a hand?
Ow. Yeah, we've got 20 minutes down. This last side mission's not going to take me that long. Maybe I could. Do a different side mission. I mean, not like a different side mission. Like the
Warning. Incoming
those
hostiles.
thingy ones. What are they called? The supplies ones. Oh,
Warning. Supply taking fire. Warning. Incoming hostiles.
Get off our turf! Don't make my
Warning. Incoming hostiles.
we got company! You better pull that trigger!
don't be a dick. Come over here.
Food, medicine, ammo, and kibble. You really know how to bring it home, Agent. I thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Kip Spade thanks you. Charlemagne and his friends. Natasha and Julio and that weird little schnauzer named Brutus, they thank you too.
Yeah. See, it only took me up to 20 minutes. So, I don't know what to do. Because I can't see. I can get rid of these. Just fucking greens. Nobody cares about greens. No, yeah, no, yeah, no, yeah, no. I don't know. Oh, no, there wasn't one there. There are a couple here, though. Yeah, they're not very good. Okay, so I can get rid of all that shite. Yeah, so what do I want to do? I could, yeah, I'll run the encounters.
We're at the radio
I
mash,
think.
but there's Rikers.
So I'm guessing if I run the encounters, I should be able to then sort of get the time up. Because I mean, 30 minutes for an episode seems about right. Like 30, 40 minutes. I can do that, and then the next at the beginning of the next episode can be like doing the mission. Because that'll probably be a good 40, 50 minutes, maybe. I don't know. Alright, well. Have a nice chat with the locals. I think I've got to go in here and do something. Well, I'm not sure what.
Bay, this is dispatch. We've got a priority request from our friends at Sarah for a full virological scan of the quarantine zone on East 31st and FDR.
Warning. Readings indicate this area is contaminated.
Yeah, I know it's contaminated.
Contamination scan initiated.
15 minutes suggests that, what a big fucking area. Oh, this gets me into the room I can come into. Okay. Well, I was hoping there'd be a scanner in there. Call me crazy. Everybody has cyberpunk. I want cyberpunk. Fortunately, I can't afford it right now. I mean, that's kind of highly determinant about whether my cat's going to be okay. If she just needs the next round of medicine, then I should be able to afford it. If, on the other hand, she needs more than that, then I can't afford it. And I don't want to spend money until I know what the situation with all that is. Really? Where the fuck are all these viral scanners? I'm guessing I have to go up another level? Yeah, probably. I would have thought one would have been in all that area though. Yeah, here we go. Ah, dear. Now, interestingly, like I know a lot of people at work have been moaning about this, and there's a lot of other moaning I've been hearing from others.
Contamination scan initiated.
But we're in what is being dubbed a Tier 4 lockdown at the moment, which means I actually really don't know what it means. It just sounds like it's a return to the lockdown that we had originally, like that lockdown that we had in what was it? Cool. Yeah, the one we had a few months back. Oh, someone fell off the bed. I mean, there's not actually. There's not actually any lockdown rules per se. Like, it's not the same. It's hard to describe because, like, there's a lot of confusion around the Tier 4 stuff. But from what I can tell, like, the pubs are closed. You can't meet up with anyone outside your family who doesn't live with you. There's like a whole bunch of sort of like really draconian rules, and just the thing is a lot of this is apparently in response to. Oh, I kind of wouldn't mind going out onto that level. Yeah, a lot of this is in response to an outbreak of a new variant of COVID. Which I'm like, okay, fine. So there's a new outbreak of COVID, or a new variant of it. But they didn't. It's the same as like last time. They didn't lock down public transport, so you could still use buses. You could still go on trains. You could still you could still go on a plane. You could still go on a boat. Like, there was all these claims like that they had like this lockdown procedure in place, but it's the quarantine made no sense. It was just a case of like, oh well, we're going to keep you to the honor system. Everyone just stay indoors and only go out if it's absolutely necessary. And if you do go out, wear a mask and don't have more than a few people nearby and stay more than 2 meters apart. It's just like, these are nonsense rules. Just fucking nonsense rules. I mean, first of all, like, they're saying this to a nation which, unlike the Asian nations, like China, Japan, and Korea, where if you get the sniffles in those countries, sure, it's common practice for people there to put on a face mask so that they protect others of the public from getting ill like they have. But that's not something that's ever happened in like the UK. It's not something that happened in the States. It's not something. It's not a general rule of thumb for how people behave when there is an illness around. So, and in fact, like, there is a key thing to remember that, like, in the English-speaking world, it's considered rude to hide your face from people. You know, there's a cultural element to this where, like, if someone can't see your face, they assume that you are nefarious. It's why there's a big hubbub in Britain and, like, across Europe about, you know, Habibs and hijabs and
Contamination scan initiated.
what's the other thing? There's a third one. I forget what it's called. But there is a very fundamental frustration in those nations with people who wear those, because they'll be like, oh well, we're doing it for cultural purposes, and you're like, yeah, but from our cultural purpose, from our cultural standpoint, that behavior makes us think you're up to something, you're up to no good, because you're hiding your face. You don't want others to see who you are. You're obscuring your identity. It's a sign of mistrust. Or no, it's not a sign of mistrust, but like you are mistrustful of people because they're not willing to share something basic with you, kind of thing. It's one of those difficult things to explain.
Good work. Our medics will make good use of that data.
It's one of those difficult things to explain because it's
Exiting
something,
the contaminated area.
you know, just I've grown up with. I've grown up with that. I've more or less always been in a westernized European, Anglo-European like style country, where the idea of covering your face is just considered bad manners. And again, it's a trust thing. You look in a lot of other cultures and a lot of other countries, and for them, it's a case of you have to earn the trust of someone there. Like, you have to earn the trust of the people there before you're not considered suspicious. It's not actually... That's not a common thing in, like, the Anglo-European cultures. I mean, if you go to a small town where everybody knows each other, then sure, you know... You can make that argument. I mean, that's a small, like, small cul-de-sac village kind of thing where everybody knows each other. Hell, everybody could essentially be family. Like that kind of close-knit thing. You're always going to be there. They're always going to be suspicious of you, not because they're suspicious. Not because they're suspicious because you look different, but they're just suspicious of anyone who's not them. You know, they'd be suspicious of anyone who just came from the city, kind of thing. I know a lot of people kind of like with. I know often there's talk that, oh yeah, that's totally the same thing as like someone being racist or something. But it's really not. They are mistrustful of everyone, not just a specific group, because they're not part of their close-knit group. Whereas, like in European culture, as a general thing, you get out of those very small cul-de-sacs, those very small things. So any sort of medium-ish village. Oh, there's apparently a. Oh right, I see it.
Consider yourself an honorary member of the neighborhood. Now, folks around here appreciate what you did, and they found something for you to show their appreciation.
Yeah, but you go with any other European sort of culture, like anything that's sort of like even medium-sized or anything like that. So say like a village or a town of like say 200-300 people. And it's a very different story. Generally speaking, you're going to be, people will just assume that you're to be trusted, you're a good person, you know, whatever. They're always going to give you the benefit of the doubt in that respect. Whereas you go to a lot of other countries, and like I've experienced this myself. And just purely based upon the culture that you come from, there's people who'll they'll just be suspicious of you, straight up, just because of that. So.
Gonna miss you around here. Didn't think I was gonna say that. It's hard to trust anyone these days, you know? But you really made a difference.
Or don't. It doesn't make no difference to me if you stay in bed all day, so long as you keep listening. In any case, once again, this is When You Know It, and I am, once again, your host. What I want to talk to you about today is the weather. I know, it's cold and shitty. But doesn't it feel like it's been cold and shitty forever? I mean, never mind calendars, because who's got one of those anymore, right? But doesn't it feel like this cold weather has lasted forever?
Wait, what did I buy?
Like, way longer than it should have?
It was those, yeah.
I've got a theory about that. And I know, you're going, yeah, Velasquez, you've always got a theory. But the thing is,
I think I need a
how
doctor.
often am I right? And the answer is too damn often. So hear me out. I'm thinking that maybe, just maybe, the government's a little further along in their weather control programs than they'd like us to think.
Oh, I got a new talent.
There's a little project up in Alaska.
Ah, dear.
If you believe some people, is all about weather control.
You know you want what I'm selling.
Now let's think for a minute. You want to make it easier to lock down a city. Keeping the weather cold and nasty is one way to do it. You get sunny and 78 degrees, all of a sudden folks are going to feel a little more frisky. So you keep it cold, and people want to stay bundled up and indoors, and there you go. Crowd control, courtesy of the weather. It sounds crazy.
My back
I
is
know.
all fucked up.
But
I need
times
some
like this,
meds bad.
crazy's all we got left.
I think that one actually. I've got one more to go.
See
Something's wrong with me. I think I need a doctor.
Yo, check this out.
Oh, yeah, it's not really worth it.
My back is all fucked up. I need some meds bad.
See what you've been missing?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I kind of have to do for now. It's not ideal. Alright, well. Yeah, so, like, you're trying to get people to wear masks who generally aren't going to because it's, like, against their culture to do it. And the weird thing is, it's the groups that seem to not want to abide by it the most are the ones that would
Something's
normally be
wrong
wearing
with me.
masks and
I think I
sort
need a
of head
doctor.
coverings and whatnot. And they're the ones most susceptible to the virus, and it's all crazy nonsense. But yeah, the biggest thing is like the quarantine procedures that they put in place aren't really quarantine procedures. They're not going to fucking help. People were breaching quarantine left, right, and center. The virus was going to spread. It was going to mutate. This was all going to happen, especially as like you keep everyone bottled up, right? This game's a perfect example, but like you keep everyone bottled up, like the way that they have, and all you're doing is you're not protecting the citizens themselves. You're not making sure that there's no problems there. All you're doing is giving the disease the opportunity to mutate in isolation, and that's a fucked up and
All
stupid
units
thing.
be advised, we've got people dealing stolen medical supplies out of a park near 20th.
Because what you want is for the virus to
We
be
need you. Remember
A little
that.
help finding those
Um,
supplies, maybe? Thanks.
Rhodes said you did good work over at the power line. Screw this.
you need the virus to be sort of people to come into contact with it. Oh shit.
Better move it!
Okay. Yeah, you need people to come into contact with the virus because I mean that's how the immune system gets over it. Yes, you're going to get yes, you'll get new mutations and strains from more people being in contact with each other. But I mean that's the thing. Because they're all released at the same time, well, the body is getting all of these different examples of like, oh, this is the same virus, this is the same virus, I already have this is the same, this is the same. And it can come up with immunization to it, like a natural immunization or a natural survival element without natural survival aspect. The way that the body's immunization system works is like when it gets bombarded with strains or something. It's like, what is it? Flu. You get over flu relatively quickly, like a flu and a head cold. These are 24, 48-hour bugs, typically speaking. In more extreme cases, maybe 7 days. And a big reason why you're not laid out for like a week, 2 weeks, like would generally be the case in the past, because like as soon as someone got ill in the past, it'd be a case of, oh well, they're ill, there's no medication for this, we have to sort of isolate them, we have to make sure no one comes in as few people come in contact with them.
Streets and back where they can actually help people.
And because of that, they'd essentially they'd be fighting the same version of the virus. Their immune system would be fighting the same version of the virus, and the immune system would have to try and figure out everything to do with that virus, how it infects, how it sort of like is spreading, and all of this stuff from one variation of it, like one example. Whereas like if you're ill with influenza, flu, if you're ill with the flu or you're ill with the common cold, you catch that, you can't be infected with another one. Those two versions of it will fight each other, so you'll only ever have to deal with one. But getting infected by them as they're fighting each other, over the resources, well, your body goes, oh well, I'm starting to see a pattern here, I can figure this out, and it does it much quicker. And that's why, today a lot of things like flu and the common cold, these aren't things that are sort of life-threatening in most situations anyway. They're not life-threatening, they're not really that big of a deal. And like there's various things, medications that have been figured out to sort of have that can help bolster your immune system, so your immune system's like, oh, this is what's going on, and can handle it better. Now the worst part with COVID is COVID itself isn't really bad. I'll continue this in the next video, but COVID itself isn't bad, but it's kind of the consequences of it are what make it a concerning viral infection. As I said, I'll continue this in the next video.